Hello. So today I want to tell a bit more about MoonDAO and about DAO as well. I've been active in a DAO since last September, and it really changed the way how I perceive the world. First of all, let me tell a bit about myself. My name is Mamin, and 9 years ago I decided that I want to become a professional space engineer and work on lunar exploration. 5 years ago, I became a chief operation officer of a company called SpaceBeat. It's the UK company, and that's a screenshot with my interview from Seeker. If you know Seeker, they do crazy stuff. And I was in charge of designing such a robot. Unfortunately, we were not able to make it in time, and hopefully it will be finished and will be sent to the moon with the second astrobotic mission in a couple of years. A year ago, because of the war, I quit SpaceBeat and I founded my own project called Lunka. The goal of Lunka is to create a decentralized tool for robotics engineering. And at the same time, I'm a steward of a space engineering guild at MoonDAO. Sorry, you do not see my full name. And today I want to share my experience working with DAOs. So, what DAO is? DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and personally I like that definition. It's a group of internet randos united by common goal and treasury. MoonDAO, it's really hard to explain what is the difference being a part of a DAO and be working in a regular company. I think the main difference is that you have no boss. Like there is no one who could tell you, okay, do that, or I won't pay you, or I will fine you, or so. So there is no boss. Everyone who joined DAO, they did it by themselves. They do it because they want to do it. And it means that you have to take the initiative. It's kind of like you work in a company where everyone is freelancer, and instead of boss, you have the whole community. So if you did something, you have to show the results of your work to the whole community, and it's actually great because you just can show it instead of writing down board reports. At MoonDAO we are using Discord a lot, and I just made a screenshot. So all the coordination at MoonDAO happens on Discord. Basically, we have a lot of, you can find, it's super easy to find that server, and we have a lot of chats where we discuss a lot of things. I've made a screenshot of the Space Engineering Guild, but we also have a Dev Guild, Growth Guild, and Community Guild. The Dev Guild makes software, or like smart contracts, website, and so on. Space Engineering Guild, guilds means, in MoonDAO, guilds means just a pool of talents. Like, just if you're a member of a guild, it means that you have a verifiable experience that shows that you are good enough to be a developer, you are good enough, like you're actually a space engineer, you have a background, and so on. But guilds do not do any projects, it's just a group of people. But inside the guild, all the projects, all the activity in MoonDAO has to be done in the form of a project. Project is just and kind of an activity. And the crazy thing is that actually it's real. Like really, most of the conversations happen on Discord. When I joined MoonDAO as a steward, a guy asked me, okay, where stewards you do communicate? And he thought like, you know, like we are like as a hidden society. We have a lot of discussions somewhere beyond Discord and so on. No, everything happened there, and it's crazy. At DAO, everything happens in an open way. All the documents, all the discussions, all the communications. You can just jump in and check what's going on. And it's really a huge difference between a regular company. Another huge thing is that every major decision has to pass a community voting. And it's actually the case, it's really happening. Right now you can see that two latest proposals were not approved by the community. There are around 40 voters right now. And yeah, community declined. Basically, it means that if you have a project that is relevant to MoonDAO, you can join MoonDAO, you can just join Discord, you can check what's going on, you can make a proposal, and there is a process. It's not so complicated. After all, it all comes to the fact that the whole community would vote for your proposal. And if community accepts, then you'll be doing that. Right now there are like 95 proposals, and it's really happening. Like, it's really happening, and for me it's crazy. I've heard about MoonDAO since since February 2021, and I thought that it's a scam. It took me more than half a year to actually observe what's going on, and yeah, since last September I joined. So it's not a scam, it's really happening. Yeah.
And this question is over here. We just talked about this quadratic voting, and is there any matching tool for this, or just like voting according to your Mooney tokens? And second question, I see that it's Mooney, it's like for voting purpose. Yeah. So there is like some differentiation, right, for government tokens?
Yes, so great questions. First of all, there is no, like, this voting goes for proposals. There is, yeah, it uses quadratic voting, but there is no matching pool or so. It's like, okay guys, do we need, for example, if we want to make a new promotional video, we can describe what we want in that video, and then we put it on the snapshot. And if community votes yes, then we will make that video, but it's not about funding or so on. The second thing about Mooney. So MoonDAO has a governance token. It's called Mooney. It was launched on Juicebox in December 2021, and yeah, people could get Mooney token in exchange of their Ethereum. So MoonDAO raised $8 million in Ethereum on Juicebox, but then because of the whole crypto winter, it dropped to 1.5 million. So right now in the treasury, MoonDAO has around 1.2 million dollars in treasury, and actually that information is open. You can open the MoonDAO website and you will find a dashboard with the information from treasury. And about Mooney, there is a huge incentive for certain actors to pump and dump token, and to protect community from short decision making. MoonDAO introduced Mooney token. So actually, to be able to vote, you have to stake your Mooney token into Mooney. You have to log them for a certain period. I believe the smallest period is 1 week, and then you'll be able to vote. So yes, you'll have to stake. Personally, I've staked like till 2026, and I'm increasing my stake when I have money. By the way, right now is really good time to get some money because the prices are really cheap. And my main point is that it's actually, for me, it's actually a shock, is that actually all the decisions, they has to pass through that voting system. So it's real, and it's actually complicated. If you have an idea, in regular company you can just come to your boss and say, okay, I want to do that, that and that, and then your boss can provide you with the feedback. In DAO it's different. Actually there are 40 voters, around 75% of them are Chinese, and to make your vote accepted, you have actually to shill your project. You have to talk to everyone who is voting and explain that actually you have a great project. It has its own benefits because when you do that, when you shill, you get a lot of feedback, and that's great, but it really time consuming.
Is it done by like presentations that people give on like how do you say on Zoom or
Yeah. Great question. So every DAO, actually, I'm like 80% of my efforts in terms of DAO goes to MoonDAO, but I'm also a member of a couple of other DAOs. So all DAO, they have a lot of meetings. Basically, at MoonDAO on Monday we have our town hall meeting where we invite people from different projects to talk about interesting stuff. And on other days, like almost every day, we have a meeting. On Tuesday we have a meeting dedicated to Space Engineering Guild. On other days we have for others. So, and on Thursday we have a special meeting dedicated to proposal shilling. So you have to shill it, but we have a couple of meetings, and if you want your project to pass, you have to attend that meeting. However, it takes quite a lot of time, and you also have to be active on Discord, like discuss and so on. So shilling is not just presenting on one presentation; it's more about continuous reminding of your project and talking to people, maybe even outside Discord. So if you have if someone, for example, said, okay, I don't like your project, you can just reach me personally and jump on the call asking, okay, what you like, what you don't like, if I'll update my proposal to be like that, would you vote yes? So it's kind of a process, it's open, so we have special meetings. However, at the end, it still comes to the fact that you have to convince everyone who voted or who wants to plan to vote no, you have to convince them personally. So it's really, for me, it's like when it reminds me of the US movies about politics, when they have to go through all the states, making presentations about their program and so on. I think it's really similar. Like for me, this looks really similar. Like it's really voting, it's real democracy. And as I'm from Russia, that sounds really crazy. Like, okay, someone really votes for something and it works. That's crazy. But yeah, it happens. But it's.
But with the government tokens, like I have to have Mooney to actually be able to vote, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
you have to have a
but at the end of the day, those guys who has the most Mooney, they're the most powerful voters, right?
Yeah, exactly. The thing is.
About,
And that's why we are using quadratic voting. According to Vitaly, quadratic voting is the way to balance, like between to find the balance between wealthy people and the
they
majority.
can have different modifications or whatever. You never know who actually owns something.
You have different
With
votes.
the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that you're completely right. There are a lot of anonymous voters. However, at some point in time, most votes comes from really active people, from really engaged people, and in most cases, actually, how many money, who owns money, and at some point in time, you just interact with people who are really passionate about the project, who are really dedicated.
You know what I mean? Somebody could actually take over. Somebody doesn't like your project, he buys all the shit and
Yep.
approves everything maybe you don't like.
That's always could be the case with everyone. Like every project could be rug pulled. Moreover, if you get like more than 51% of Bitcoin, you actually can.
No.
Uh,
Cannot change the Bitcoin chain.
you cannot change the Bitcoin, but you can.
Cannot change anything.
No, yes, of course, retroactively,
But you can manipulate the price.
yes.
Yeah, price is one thing, but then you fork Bitcoin, but actually users are the nodes on Bitcoin.
Yes, but if you have more than 51%, you can create blocks by your own.
You mean mining power, hash power.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but then you have fork, right? And then the user decides, do I wanna join this 50 watt attack or stick to the other fork, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
That's a different story than
but it's quite similar in terms of you always can. Every system could be attacked by.
Thing is like China, and they cannot do it anymore. Like if there's a 51 attack, you wouldn't you don't want to own this China Bitcoin. It's really own it. So
Yes.
naturally has more value, right?
However, like you're talking about attack. Every system could be attacked, including Bitcoin, and you can get like 51% of hash power, and you can, in theory, you can push your own transactions that you're interested. You can censorship transaction and so on, and users won't even know that you own that. So it's always possible. It's always the case, and at MoonDAO. At some point in time, just we have people who like the project.
So just back to your question, it's like sibling attack, if I understand right, and there is some solution from how I see this. It will be verified by community. The same Gitcoin passport, for example, you can get some verification, and it's hard. It's more difficult to use this attack to make like 10 wallets if you use it with quadratic voting. So it's like count one wallet, for example, without any confirmation of the amount of the tokens. But in this case, it's different problem.
Yeah, and the most important that there is a treasury that is controlled. Like there is only one treasury, but after all, there is a chance to fork. So community can fork, and after all, it's not about the treasury. It's all about community. And there are a lot of ways how, if a MoonDAO treasury would be controlled by some entity, I know there are a lot of great people with whom I interact on a daily basis. We will be really upset, but if we don't like what happens at MoonDAO, we will just make our own fork with the same governance, same people doing the same stuff, because after all, it's all about all the connections that those people made. And that's great, like without MoonDAO, do you know, for example, about, there are really great people who participates in a lot of projects that you use on a daily basis. For example, there is a guy from Planet Labs, and Planet Labs takes images of Earth like on a daily basis, maybe even on an hourly basis. There is a business developer from MongoDB, and a lot of crazy connections. And those connections, that's what's important for me, of course, for me.
My question will be, how did you find the people? I mean, you need to build a community, but what channels did they use for building the community? I mean, you need to get the people who really believe in your project. And except of the tech, I think this is the most challenging part, to find actual the people. So how did they do that? That would be my question.
So initially MoonDAO's goal was to send someone to space, and actually MoonDAO achieved that goal. MoonDAO last August, MoonDAO have sent a person to space on a Blue Origin rocket. It was a guy from Dude Perfect YouTube channel, and Dude Perfect YouTube channel is quite huge. So they've made a video with that guy about his experience, etc., etc. And a lot of people come from those videos. We also hold, right now we have several interesting initiatives, so we partner a lot with similar projects. Also, now we have a framework for partnering with other projects. So, like all the channels are used. It was kickstarted by in real life, meeting in real life with certain people who have connections. And now, for example, I have a lot of connections in the professional space exploration industry, and I'm shooting to them MoonDAO. Also, as an example, NASA wants to send people back to the moon with their Artemis program, and there is a project called LSIC, Lunar Settlement Innovation Consortium. That project is sits between NASA Artemis program and all the private and commercial payloads. So, and like LSIC, LSIC are great, and several members from MoonDAO participate in LSAC meetings, and now LSAC, LSIC, I think that's the right pronunciation. They are aware of MoonDAO, and MoonDAO is willing to support certain initiatives, certain researchers. So that's quite complicated, and it's more like we have people who are passionate, and they just get more people on board.
And these projects, like they are ranging from what, building a new robot to go to the moon, or new technology to put on the moon, or like, or something related to space. Then
let me. Right now, we have partnered with the company LifeShip, and it's why like we are officially MoonDAO officially partnered with the company, but also a founder of the company LifeShip. He is an active member of MoonDAO. So LifeShip, you can send actually for $100. You can send your DNA to the moon next year. They already arranged their contracts. It's a real company. They have flight heritage, and that's one project that we are collaborating on. And actually, if you have vMooney, you will have quite a huge discount, like maybe 25% or so. I do not remember. Why you want to send your DNA to the moon? I have no idea. Like, it's up to you, but you have that option. Also, MoonDAO has partnered with Zero G Gravity, and the most interesting for me as an engineer project, we are working on the open access to lunar comms project. So we want to build an open lunar communications network. We just started working on that, and it will take a lot of time. And actually, if you're interested in that, you can just jump in and start working on the idea.
You said you wonder why people want to have their DNA in a spaceship to the moon?
Yes.
Because they want to have their family rebuilt on the moon, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, he just works on spreading life to the solar system. I mean, I tell to a lot of people that, you know, you can send something to the moon, and you can send your DNA to the moon. People ask me why. I have no idea why, but I will send my DNA to the moon shortly. And they deliver to Thailand.
You see all these test tubes with sperm flying in space?
I want to tell a bit about payments. So I've been in January, February, and March. MoonDAO activity spread into quarters. So for the first quarter of this year, I received around 20K from MoonDAO, and I dedicated like maybe 10 or 15 hours a week to MoonDAO, which is quite nice. There are two main types of payments. So for your activities at MoonDAO, you'll get paid, which is quite important. In my case, I was already working on the lunar exploration, and it's quite nice to receive some money from MoonDAO because I receive money for the activities that I'm already doing. There are two main types of payments called MVP and retroactive rewards. When you start a project, and project could be just posting on Twitter. So project is just a way to distinct your activity from other activities. You can ask for upfront payment. It's called the minimum viable payment. In general, it's not encouraged to ask for upfront payment, but if you everyone has to pay for their for bills, so you can ask for that. And in any case, space engineering. So I've got like 9K USD in NVPs and around 3 or in rewards. And at the end of this month, or you could be paid retroactively. So at the end, 5% of MoonDAO treasury is dedicated to retroactive rewards. It happens every 3 months. So this month is the last month in the second quarter. So I'll be paid retroactively. I have no idea how much money I'll get from that, because basically community would vote and assess how useful was I to community. And I'll do the same for all the other people, and it's quite crazy. So everyone will assess the activities of other people, and that's how we will split the 5% of MoonDAO treasury. I think like in a couple of months, sorry, in a couple of weeks, I know how much money I'll get. And a really interesting thing is how MVPs are paid. They are paid using streaming. Streaming is it's kind of like a salary, but it's slightly different. I was paid like 3K per month. So at the beginning of this year, MoonDAO have sent 9K DAI to Llama Pay, and then it was streamed for 3 months. Basically, it means that I don't know even how to explain, but it means that per month I had to receive like 3K, meaning that per day I received on average $100. And streaming means that you get paid like every second, and you can open a website and claim everything that you received since your last claim. So, for example, you can just go to a website every day and every day receive around $100. Or you can do like, I don't know how to explain it, but you get paid for every second, and it's been collected on your account, and you can claim those money at any point in time. So streaming is it's really similar to salary, but it's slightly different, and it's really blown my mind. Like you can open your service that we use, and you see, okay, like your amount of money that you receive like increased every second. Like there is a counter, which is quite crazy and quite convenient.
Like liquid digital money, like pouring Buddah, like.
Yes, it's like salary, but you get salary like every week, every 2 weeks, or on a monthly basis, depending on your job. And here you get paid like every second. So they upload all the money that you should receive in a 3 months period, and then every second a portion of that money just become yours, and you can claim that portion at any point in time, which is super convenient, and which changes really my perception, because when I'm a member of MoonDAO, every second I got some money, which is quite nice. The last thing that I want to say, that actually there are a lot of projects in the DSpace, decentralized space ecosystem. This image was created by Axiom Space. Axiom Space is a huge Web2 space company. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, they have sent their second commercial crew to the ISS station to the International Space Station, and they have a Web3 division. That division, by the way, follows Lunka. They mentioned Lunka. That's my project. I want to highlight just a couple of projects that I like. So the best one is Lunka, of course, because it's mine. Also, actually, there is a nice project called Copernic Space, and a guy, CTO of Copernic Space, they here. Copernic Space are building a marketplace for space assets, which is quite nice. And they're serious. They've been doing that for a long time. They have a lot of connections, and if you're buying NFTs, they make an NFT sale of passport. Like, just take a look if you're interested in NFTs. Maybe you'll get something from that. No expectation of profit. I just really like the project, and I like them. Another nice project is Lunargistics. These guys are doing a lot related to contracts, but they've built actually a community of all the DSpace projects, and thanks to Lunargistics, Axiom Space follows my project called Lunka. Super great project. Oh, and yeah, Lockheed Martin actually is a part of a bigger DSpace ecosystem. I think that's all the projects that I wanted to highlight. They're real. I'm in touch with the founders of most of these projects. So if you are passionate about space exploration, happy to talk about that.
but not all these projects came through MoonDAO. They are just connected to it.
Yeah, that's a broader decentralized space ecosystem. MoonDAO is just a part of that ecosystem.
Okay.
Quite important, actually, quite important, because there is a huge chance that at some point in time all of these projects would become partner with MoonDAO. Personally, I'm working on that, and that's what we are moving towards for. All the DC projects, they are on an intersection between Web 2 and Web 3. They are not DAOs, and MoonDAO is the only actual DAO, and that's why MoonDAO is a great platform to unite all the projects, because of the DAO is different. DAO is not centralized, so we are planning to make MoonDAO kind of platform for all the space projects to interact, to make common decisions, and so on. So maybe one of the most important values of MoonDAO is the governance framework that we have created, like how we interact.
But I guess the other projects are looking at MoonDAO for like new ideas that people come up with to see if there's something that fits in their program.
It's quite complicated. I mean, all of those projects, they know what they want to achieve. And a lot of those projects, for them, MoonDAO is a way to get in touch with other like-minded people. So it's complicated. It's really complicated. We have a group of all the founders from ZC projects, except maybe Lockheed Martin. It's too big project. We interact a lot. We communicate a lot, and we partner a lot with each other. However, we are trying to push MoonDAO at the same time. We are trying to make MoonDAO the new platform. I'm trying to invite people from other space projects to become active at MoonDAO. So, like, it's a mess, frankly speaking, but it's a mess. It's just a community of people who like space, who like Web3, and who actually tries to deliver something.
But you don't have Elon Musk and Starlink in his program there yet.
Yeah, not but Axiom Space, actually, like Axiom, they're huge. They have sent 2 commercial crews to ISS, and they partner with SpaceX to do that. And at MoonDAO, we are also discussing the possibility to send commercial, like our astronauts to ISS, and SpaceX quoted like 20 million per one astronaut to get it there and back. And Axiom Space, they want much more money, but they are not responsible not only for delivering but also for accommodation on the ISS, but they want much more money, but I cannot share how much money Axiom Space charges for one astronaut. But yes, at least one company from that list already sent astronauts to space, and they're following Lunka, if you know, on Twitter, if you know what it means. And yeah, right now at MoonDAO we have 3 interesting projects. That's what I wanted to finish. Happy to share what these projects, if you're interested in space exploration and these things. If not, it's completely okay. Just wanted to share what DAO is, and happy to share, like, if you have any questions about, just feel free to reach me on Twitter, on WhatsApp, or in real life, on Phangan, everywhere.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.